We're in the kitchen today, and I'm Dennis, and we're talking about a great St. Patrick's Day appetizer. But this one may carry throughout the year. It's one of my favorites. It is a corned beef, basically a Reuben sandwich done in an egg roll. A couple of great dipping sauces. We've got our special sauce, which is a Russian dressing with a little bit of an Irish kick. And we've got a creamy horseradish sauce. Both complement this perfectly. Let me show you how to do it. Let's get cooking. Here's our ingredient list for our corned beef egg rolls. We got the star of the show, which is a corned beef brisket. We've got 3 carrots peeled and halved, 3 potatoes that are peeled and quartered. We have a cabbage and an onion and the egg roll wrappers, which we're going to set aside because we're going to need those later. And then I've got a bay leaf, the little packet that came with the corned beef, which has got mustard seeds and a little bit of bay leaf in it and a few other seasonings. A teaspoon of mustard seeds and a half a teaspoon of black pepper. We are going to use the Instapot. Because it's really quick. It takes about 1 hour and 15 minutes in here, and it is so tender. If you don't have an Instapot, that's okay. You could do it in a crock pot. For about 6 hours, 5 to 6 hours, you could do it in the oven, in a pan with liquid the same way, covered for about 4 hours at 350. But let's use the Instapot today. Okay, I've got the Instapot plugged in and ready to go. We are going to take the corned beef that I rinsed off and put it in the pot. We're going to add the bay leaf. Just sprinkle the mustard seeds on and the black pepper and the seasoning packet. Sometimes you need the scissors. And we're just putting that on top. We're going to dump the potatoes and the carrots in. And we're just going to pour in some water to cover. Put on the top. Going down here, we're going to hit pressure cook. And hour and 15, let it go. It's going to build up steam, build up pressure, and it's going to be fork tender in about 1 hour and 15. Okay, here's what we need for another part of the filling. I didn't want to do this in the pressure cooker because it just cooks it down to mush. I want to get the liquid out. This is 4 cups of shredded cabbage. This is going to cook down to half that. There's a medium onion diced. Got a half a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of pepper. We're going to put a little butter and a little olive oil in a pan and saute that down till we get it nice and just get all that liquid out of there. Okay, I'm going to turn this on high for a minute. We're going to do about a tablespoon of olive oil, about a half a tablespoon of butter. We're going to let this heat up. We're going to saute our cabbage and onions. Okay, we're going to add our shredded cabbage, diced onions, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt. And we're just going to get this sauteing. We're going to actually drop the heat now. It's going to take probably 15 minutes to get this cooked out. We want to get all that extra liquid out of here. All right, it's done now. I'm just going to release the pressure. And we're going to let that pressure release all the way down to 0. And I'm going to take everything out, separate it, and chill it. Okay, I let the corned beef, the cabbage, the potatoes, and the carrots cool down. I put them in the fridge, but if you just want to cool them down to room temperature so they're easier to work with, oh, that's fine. But I was really busy with some other projects, and so I'm coming back to this. Now we're going to take the corned beef and we're going to dice it up into small pieces. Also going to trim the fat. I'm going to cut against the grain, and that's just under 1/4 of an inch thick. Now, if you see any big veins of fat, trim that out, but there we go. Small little pieces, put it in a measuring cup. If you come to a fatty section, just lightly shave down. You don't want all that fat in there. Just cut the fat out. Okay, I got about 2 cups of chopped corned beef. Got this piece left. I'm going to wrap that up, put that in the fridge, and that's going to make a great sandwich for later. And I'm going to dice up the carrots and the potatoes to about the same size that we did the corned beef. And this is all cooked, and all that extra moisture's out of it. Because we don't want our egg rolls to be soggy. I'm going to do this to the potatoes. I'm also going to grate an 8-ounce block of Swiss cheese. Then we got the carrots and the potatoes. Now that was a lot of potato. We're not going to eat all that, but this is going to be great for lunch tomorrow. We're not going to eat all this cabbage or carrots either. I'm going to save that for my lunch. And now I just want to shred up my block of cheese. Now I'm just going to shred this block in the food processor. Now you could use a bag of shreds, nothing wrong with that. I just had a bunch of blocks of cheese in my fridge, so that's what I'm going to use. And then we're going to start mixing this all together and make our corned beef egg rolls. So let's assemble the filling for the corned beef egg rolls. That is the corned beef. And we're gonna eyeball the rest. A little bit more carrot, a little bit more potato. Remember, we do want the corned beef to be the star of the show. And that's our sauteed cabbage and onions. Sauerkraut would really work well in this too. If you, I would saute it up first and get a lot of that liquid out of it. But that's about right. I just want to add some cheese. I'm going to use all of that 8-ounce block, and we're going to mix that up because the cheese is really going to bind that together and make it all gooey and delicious. All these flavors are going to come through. Make sure you're all mixed up. And it's time to stuff the egg rolls. So I've got the standard egg roll wrap, which most of your larger grocery stores carry. Make sure you just get a single wrap, and then I take a damp paper or damp clean kitchen towel just to cover the other wrappers while I'm working because I don't like them to dry up. And this is, I believe, a 2-ounce ice cream scoop. Go in that mixture, and I get a heaping because you want a lot of filling, but you don't want to overstuff them. And this does take a couple times, but then it's so easy once you do it. Press it in. The corner towards you, you're going to pull up. Take your fingers and tuck that in. And then side up. Other side up. This is a little slurry with a tablespoon of flour and some cold water. You can just use cold water if you like, and then roll it. But I want to do something that I do when I make my egg rolls and double wrap it. So take another wrapper, set it down, come in the same way. And it doesn't work the same if you just double thick it. You want to wrap twice because there's a little bit of air in there. And it's just going to add some flavor. And then you roll it up and set it on your tray. Quick wipe. And we'll keep going. Grab another sheet. Tuck it in, over. And a quick roll. Okay, now I've got these made. I'm going to take a Ziploc freezer bag that I labeled, and I am going to freeze some of these because I'm making these in advance for a little get-together on St. Patrick's Day. And being that this is a little time-consuming, get the air out. I'm going to freeze them flat like that. I'm going to bring them out of the freezer and fry them directly. I'm still going to keep going because I've got more to make, but definitely want to try a couple today. Okay, here's what we're going to use for one of our special sauces. You can call it Thousand Island, you can call it special sauce, Big Mac sauce, very similar, Russian dressing. They're all kind of similar. This one's going to be a little bit different. Just salt, pepper, garlic, Worcestershire, sweet relish, ketchup, mayo, and this is a little bit of a difference. We're going to throw a little bit of a splash of Irish whiskey in here for our corned beef egg rolls. Not a lot, just a couple teaspoons. If you don't have it, don't go out and spend a lot on a bottle. This is just because it has a little depth of flavor, but it's still going to be delicious without it. Okay, this is so easy now to make this special sauce. We have got about, there's about a half a cup of mayonnaise. We have got about 3 tablespoons of ketchup. And then we are going to add 2 tablespoons of sweet relish, about 1/8 of a teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, a couple dashes of Worcestershire, and that, if you want to add this is about 1.5 teaspoons or so of Irish whiskey. Now, cognac would work well too, but this is for St. Patrick's Day, so we're going to stay true. All you do is mix that up. And there is your simple special sauce or Thousand Island dressing. This is great on a wedge salad or with iceberg lettuce or on a burger. Look at how fast that was. Not even 20 seconds. We're going to set this aside in the fridge. So easy. Here's what we're going to use for our horseradish cream sauce for another dipping sauce for our corned beef egg rolls. Real easy. Sour cream, mayonnaise, horseradishes. It's a jarred, prepared horseradish that you'll find in the refrigerator section of your grocery store. If you don't, you can get the other jar of prepared horseradish. I always like the fresh. Lemon juice, Worcestershire chives, salt, and pepper. Real simple. It only takes a couple minutes to throw together. Let's do it. Okay, let's throw this other sauce together where the horseradish is the star. We have got about a half a cup of sour cream, 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise, and this is fresh prepared horseradish that you get in the jar. And that was 4 tablespoons. Now, I like it really with some zing. If you want to start off with 2 and see how you like it with that, that's good. I already know I like it. I want to clear my sinuses. There is a teaspoon of lemon juice, a couple dashes of Worcestershire, 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper, and there's a tablespoon of chives. Now, if you have fresh chives, by all means use it. I don't have any, so I use some dried. And just give it a quick stir. So easy. Boom, done. We're going to transfer this into a container and pop it in the fridge. And go on to the next step. I'm going to add some vegetable oil. And we're going to heat this oil up to 350 degrees. Now we want to bring the oil up for the first fry up to over 350. And if you don't have a digital thermometer or a thermometer, see, we're getting there, we're getting close. We want to bring it over 350 because what we're putting in there is going to drop the oil temperature, so we're there. Another way, if you don't have a thermometer, take a wooden spoon, put it in there, and it'll start bubbling. Then you know your oil's at the right temperature. And we are going to take our egg rolls. Now, these are not frozen. These are fresh. We're going to put those in. Now, I would probably only do 2 at once if they're frozen, because we don't want to drop that oil too much. And we're going to take our tongs and keep them moving a little bit. We don't want them to stick together. That's why you want deep enough oil so you can spin them around like this so they're getting fried all the way around. And you've got a little bit of color now. I'm going to transfer these over to our rack. And we'll keep going. And we're just going to do these in batches. It's okay if you only do 2 at a time. If you overcrowd it, it's going to drop the oil and they're going to be really greasy. The secret to a good fry is having hot oil. You're getting all those bubbles. This is perfect. We're just going to keep moving them around in their little jacuzzi. Now here they are draining, getting rid of all that excess oil. They've had the first fry. I'm going to let them cool down. Now this is the point where you could actually freeze them. And you could reheat them in a air fryer or convection oven or in the oven. And they're going to come out just like you fried them. Okay, now we're going to go in for the second fry. We've got a hot oil now. .400 degrees. Doesn't take long. Now, if these were frozen, you're going to have that at 350, so it can cook all the way through, not too hot. I'm going to put these back on the rack and get ready to serve these. Drain that extra oil out. Okay, we let them cool for a couple minutes. We don't want them to cool out too much because the whole point is to serve them hot. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take them, cut it on a diagonal. And that is a great appetizer for your St. Patrick's Day party. We got 2 dipping sauces. Whatever let me know what you think. Which one do you like better?